Hi everyone, it's Miss Akvari in the library, and I want to tell you about a new book that we just got in. It's by the author Jacqueline Woodson. She has a lot of other books in our library, Brown Girl Dreaming and Harbor Me, as well as a few others. But this new book is called Before the Ever After. This book is written all in verse, so it reads like poems. Sometimes they rhyme, sometimes they're more in free verse, but each page or two is its own separate poem. And this book tells the story of ZJ. ZJ is a middle school student. His father is a professional football player, and ZJ and his family are going through something that they're not really sure how they're going to get out of and what it's going to mean for their future. ZJ's father has been struggling with his health, and they can't seem to get any answers from any doctors or anything like that. And it's causing a lot of problems, not just for ZJ's father, but for ZJ himself, for ZJ at school, for his mother, because to see your parent go from very healthy to having debilitating headaches, not being able to control their moods, having mood swings, and kind of being shaky all the time is a really scary thing. And ZJ's father is a professional football player, and as you guys might know, now there's a condition called CTE that affects football players some of the time, professional football players, from repeated head traumas. But back when this book is written in the late 90s, that really hadn't been figured out just yet. So ZJ and his family are trying to figure this out on their own. I wanted to read you just a little bit of this book. And this poem's called Before the Ever After, and it kind of contrasts what life was like for ZJ and his father and his mother before his dad got sick and after. Before the ever after, there was Daddy driving to Village Ice Cream on a Saturday night in July before preseason training. Before the ever after, there was Mom in the back seat letting me ride up front, me and Daddy having man time together, waving to everyone who pointed at our car and said, "That's him." Before the ever after, the way people said, "That's him," sounded like a cheer. Before the ever after, the people pointing were always smiling. Before the ever after, Daddy's hands didn't always tremble, and his voice didn't shake, and his head didn't hurt all the time. Before the ever after, there were picnics on Sunday afternoons in Central Park, driving through the tunnel to get to the city, me and Daddy making up songs. Before the ever after, there were sandwiches on the grass near Strawberry Fields, chicken salad and barbecue beef and ham with apples and brie. There were dark chocolates with almonds and milk chocolates with coconuts and fruit and us just laughing and laughing. Before the ever after, there was the three of us, and we lived happily before the ever after. So this poem comes pretty early on in the book when ZJ doesn't really know what's happening yet, but this book is really a great example of what it's like to live with a parent who's having health concerns, and specifically what it's like for professional football players and even some college athletes and amateur football players, what they go through if they're experiencing CTE. If you like sports, if you like poetry, if you like reading real life stories, I would highly recommend that you pick up Before the Ever After.